So, after the 6.0 second half banners, most of you are wondering what's coming next. From release dates and banner leaks, to a lore-heavy Archon Quest, a bold new creative mode, massive rewards, and even teases that could shape the next year of content, 6.1 is looking like one of the most important updates we've had in a while. I've gone through everything, what's confirmed, what's leaked, and what it could mean for your Primogem plans. Whether you're brand new to Genshin and need context, or a day one veteran hunting for new perspectives, this breakdown's got you covered. So grab a snack, get comfortable, and let's dive into every corner of this fiery Nodkrai chapter together. And yes, if you are still struggling to get Flynn's or Yelan from the current banners, save up to 30% on current banners at LDShop. Plus, with my coupon, you'll get an extra 5% discount, which is a huge 35% off in total. Like this one, you can get 6,480 Genesis Crystals pack for just $68, which normally costs $100 in the game. And if this is your first purchase, you get double the amount of Genesis Crystals. The process is super fast. Pick your product, choose your server, enter your UID, and that's it. Your purchase arrives in under 5 minutes, and LDShop ensures secure payments every time. Plus, if you spend over $80, you'll get a free welkin moon. Interesting, right? So use my link in the description or pinned comment to get 35% off and save big on every top-up. Let's kick things off with the when, because timing is everything when you're juggling Primogems and Spiral Abyss clears. Hoyoverse has been as reliable as Zhongli's Shield with their 42-day patch cycle, and version 6.1 is locked in for October 22nd, 2025. That's just around the corner, so if you're still farming for that last-minute pity, now's the time to hustle. Before the patch drops, we've got the special program livestream on Friday, October 10th. This isn't just a hype reel, it's our first official window into 6.1's biggest reveals. Expect character showcases, story snippets, and those all-important redeem codes. We're looking at 3 codes dropping for a total of 300 Primogems, enough for a couple of pulls. But here's the catch. They expire fast, usually within 24 hours, so you'll need to redeem them quick. I'll be posting those codes right here on the channel the moment they go live, so you can snag those free wishes without breaking a sweat. One thing worth noting is the Luna naming convention for this patch. It's not just a quirky label. Luna 2 ties directly to the Nodkrai arc, which is wrapping up soon. Once we hit Sneznaya, Hoyoverse is ditching the Luna system and reverting to standard version numbers, like 7.0 and beyond. This is a big deal narratively. It signals that Nodkrai's story is reaching its climax, tying off threads before we plunge into the Fatui's frozen homeland. For longtime players, it's like the shift from Inazuma's 2.x to Sumeru's 3.x, a marker of a new era. It's a subtle hint that 6.1 might be a turning point, not just for gameplay, but for Teyvat's overarching saga. Now, let's get to the banners, because nothing gets the community more hyped than poll planning. Thanks to leaks from HomDG Cat, a leaker with a near-flawless track record, we've got a juicy lineup to dissect. Phase 1 of 6.1 introduces Nefer, a brand new 5-star Dendro Catalyst user, paired with a rerun of Furina. If you missed Fontaine's Hydro Archon, this is your chance to add her unmatched versatility to your roster. Furina's ability to juggle buffs and damage is still top tier, making her a must-pull for newbies and a solid pick for veterans chasing constellations. Phase 2 doubles down with reruns for Arlecchino and Zhongli. That's a Fatui Harbinger with Pyro DPS Flare and the Geo Archon's Unshakable Shields in one go. Whether you're craving Arlecchino's high-octane claw combos or Zhongli's why worry about dodging survivability, this is a banner for building dream teams. The 4-star lineup looks promising too. Yunjin for boosting normal attack DPS, Rosaria for cryo application and crit buffs, and Lynette for Anemo swirl and crowd control. This spread is a goldmine. New players get access to meta-defining 5-stars, while veterans are already theory crafting how Nefer's kit shakes things up. Now let's talk story, because 6.1 is serving a lore banquet that might just eclipse some of the game's heaviest hitters. The Archon Quest in this patch is a beast, continuing the main narrative with a cast that reads like a Teyvat all-star lineup. Alhaitham, Arlecchino, Varka, Dinesleaf, and Dory, all tangled in one explosive plotline. Let's unpack that. Alhaitham and Varka tie us back to Mondstadt's knightly legacy. Varka's been a mythical figure since the game's launch, and seeing him potentially step into the spotlight is huge. Arlecchino brings the Fatui's scheming edge, her harbinger presence dripping with intrigue. Then you've got Dainsleif and Dory pulling us deep into Khaenri'ah's unresolved mysteries, the Dragon Sovereigns, the Abyss, the whole cosmic chessboard. This is the kind of convergence that makes lore fans lose sleep. Reliable leaks suggest we might finally get in-game models for Varka and Dainsleif, which is a payoff years in the making. Think back to how Hoyoverse teased Arlecchino for ages before her debut. This feels like that, but on a grander scale, tying together threads from Mondstadt and Nodkrai. On the gameplay side, the story introduces a new world boss. Picture a shadowy, multi-phase nightmare that drops ascension materials for Nefer. It's not just a loot pinata. It's likely tied to the Archon Quest's themes, maybe echoing Nodkrai's lore or the Abyss's creeping influence. For new players, this boss is your ticket to leveling Nefer fast. For veterans, it's another chance to flex your builds and farm efficiently. The patch's main event is a Sumeru-based festival, packed with cultural flair and vibrant aesthetics. Think bustling markets, dendro-infused decorations, and mini-games that capture Sumeru's scholarly vibe. The big reward here is a free Collei, marking her third freebie appearance in Genshin's history. For new players, Collei's a fantastic Dendrobow user, great for triggering reactions and easy to build. For those of you with her at C6, it's essentially a single pull's worth of Stellar Jade, which, yeah, might sting a bit. Compared to past festivals like Lantern Rite, which sometimes dropped free character selectors or unique gadgets, this feels a touch underwhelming. Still, it's a nice nod to Sumeru's roots and a solid pickup for newer rosters. One major caveat before we move on, 6.1 has no new map expansion. If you live for cracking open new regions and raking in exploration Primogems, this might feel like a drought. Historically, map skips mean Hoyoverse is redirecting their dev muscle elsewhere. And in this case, it's all going into the patch's headline feature, User-Generated Content, or UGC. This is where 6.1 goes full-on visionary. Hoyoverse is building a creative sandbox inside Genshin. Players will get tools to craft custom maps, quests, and game modes. Think domains, races, or even full-on story chapters. Then share them via an in-game hub for others to play. It's not just a side mode, it's a whole ecosystem. There's a unique playable character for UGC, and this is where things get insane. They have access to all 7 elements, a customizable skill and burst, and a dedicated material farming loop. This breaks every rule of Genshin's usual character design. No more being locked to one element like the Traveler. This is a game changer, but it's not without risks. On one hand, UGC could transform Genshin into a social sandbox, letting you build your dream domains or team up for player-made challenges. It's the kind of thing that could keep the game alive for years, especially for creative types. On the other hand, if you're here for the classic Genshin loop, exploring vast landscapes, slaying bosses, chasing primos, this might feel like a detour. It's a bold gamble, and the community's already split. Will it be a love letter to player creativity, or will it pull focus from the open-world magic that hooked us all? Speaking of primos, let's talk rewards, because 6.1's haul ties heavily into this UGC pivot. The Sumeru Festival gives us that free Collei, as we covered. Imaginarium Theater, the endgame gauntlet, is dishing out cosmetic rewards this time. New photo poses for Hu Tao, Baizhu, Rosaria, and Kinich. These are perfect for players who love snapping aesthetic shots in Teyvat. Think Hu Tao striking a spooky pose or Kinich mid-grapple. The Serenatea pot gets a whimsical new furnishing, a chibi Faruzan riding a mushroom mob, like a throwback to Sumeru's quirky side quests. Let's crunch the primogem numbers. For a casual clear, you're looking at roughly 9,790 primogems, about 61 wishes, depending on your pity luck. If you're a completionist grinding every corner, you can hit around 11,200 primos, or 70 pulls. For Phase 1 alone, expect about 5,930 gems, translating to 37 to 40 wishes. Context check. These totals are a touch below average, thanks to the missing map. It's not dire, but free-to-play players will want to prioritize the Archon Quest, events, and dailies to stretch those pulls. If you're eyeing Nefer or Furina, plan carefully. Soft pity starts creeping up around 75 wishes. Lore-wise, 6.1 is dropping crumbs that'll keep theory crafters up at night. Columbina, the mysterious harbinger, gets a proper tease this patch. Hints about her eerie eyes and her role in the Fatui's plans, setting her up for a 5-star drop in 6.3. The Lunar Bloom reaction system, introduced in Nodkrai, gets some tweaks. You've also got standard additions, new name cards, weapons, maybe a few artifacts to round things out. But the real excitement is the future roadmap. Leaks point to Durin arriving in 6.2 as a Pyro sub-DPS with support mechanics, tied to a mimetic Nebulung quest. Columbina's 6.3 debut might come alongside the White Horse Adeptus, a new character linked to lunar mythology and dubbed the Daughter of Time, poetic and cryptic, just how we like it. Varka's finally slated for 6.4 as an Anemo Claymore user, with debates raging over whether he'll be a standard banner edition or a limited physical DPS. Nuvalet's getting a skin in 6.3 around Lantern Rite, perfect for Liu's festive vibes. Further out, Sandroni whispers point to 6.7, and there's talk of model updates or buffs for older characters like Diluc or Lisa, though nothing's confirmed. So, what do you think? Is Nefer your next main? Are Furina and Zhongli reruns stealing the show? Does UGC sound like your creative playground? Or are you sticking to the open world and abyss? For me, this patch feels like a crossroads. Hoyoverse is betting big on innovation, but it's a tightrope walk. If UGC lands, it could redefine Genshin's longevity. If it flops, we'll still have that killer story to carry us through. I'd love to hear your plans, especially if you're torn between favorites. If this breakdown helped, drop a like. It means the world. Plus, don't forget to subscribe and join our Discord server for more updates. We have an amazing community out there. Till then, stay safe, stay healthy, drink some water, and I'll see you in the next one.